Hello everybody. Today I am going to tell you some very important tricks on relation. First of all, I will tell you what is the relation and what is Cartesian product of two sets and what is the relation and what is reflexive relation and what is symmetric relation, what is transitive relation, and these are things asymmetric, antisymmetric, irreflexive. I'll tell you about these relations and then I will tell you the very super tricks. Okay, see here. What is the Cartesian product of two sets? That means A is a set and B is another set, and the Cartesian product of A and B is written like this, and it is it contains the ordered pairs xy such that x belongs to A and y belongs to B. See here, that means I am giving an example, then only you can understand. A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to AB. So what is A cross B? A cross B means 1, 2, 3 and then AB. And you have to take 1 with A, 1 with B, and you should write like this: 1A, 1B, then 2A, 2B, then 3A, 3B. Here, like this you should write. That means it contains, Cartesian product of A and B contains the ordered pairs such that first element belongs to first set and second element belongs to second set. Here, 2B. That means 2 belongs to A and B belongs to B. 3B or 3A, the first element, see, the first element belongs to first set and the second element belongs to second set. Clear? And another important thing I am going to tell you, here set A contains 3 elements and set B contains 2 elements. So according to fundamental principle of counting, the total number of elements will be 3 into 2 is equal to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means if cardinality of A is equal to M and cardinality of B is equal to N. Cardinality means number of elements. Number of elements in the set A is equal to M and the number of elements in the set B is equal to N. Then the number of elements in A cross B is equal to M into N. Clear? And another property, already it is known to you, if A is equal to N, then the total number of subsets is equal to 2 to the power n. If a set contains n elements, then the total number of subsets of that set is equal to 2 to the power n. Already it is known to you. Clear? See, a relation. So, relation means it must be ordered pair. That means I am going to tell you simple cases. Father of A is the father of B. That means A is related to B. Rama is the father of Hari. So Rama and Hari, they are related. And the relation is father of. Father of, brother of, sister of, friend of, like this. So they must be ordered pair. And the ordered pair means it must be an element of A cross B. See here, a relation from set A to set B means, the elements of A must be related to elements of B. Clear? And that means those are the elements of A cross B. See here, I am giving an example. This is set A, this is set B, and R is the relation from A to B. 1, 2, 3. This is A, B, C. Here R is equal to 1B because 1 is related to B and 2A and 3C. And these are the elements of A cross B. That means this set R. These are the elements of A cross B, but R is a subset of A cross B. So relation from A to B means it is nothing but it is a subset of A cross B. A relation from A to B means it is a subset of A cross B. Very simple thing. A relation from A to B means it is simply a subset of A cross B. So, question is that how many relations you can form from A to B? I have told you, a relation from A to B means it is a subset of A cross B. Then how many subsets of A cross B are there? Subset of A cross B is a relation. But now the question is that how many subsets of A cross B has? That means if order of A is equal to, that means now cardinality of A is M and cardinality of B is equal to N, then cardinality of A cross B is equal to Mn, and the number of subsets, I have told you, if a set contains n elements, then the total number of subsets is equal to 2 to the power n. So what is the number of subsets of A cross B? Number of subsets of A cross B is equal to 2 to the power mn. And number of subsets means it is the relation. Therefore, the number of relations from A to B is equal to 2 to the power mn. Clear? This is one important formula. If cardinality of A is equal to 3 and cardinality of B is equal to 2, then how many relations you can form? This is M, this is N. So M into N is 6. So 2 to the power 6. It is the number of relations from A to B or from B to A. Not from A to B only. It is also from B to A. Clear? See here. I have told you, a relation means there will be two sets. Then if R is a relation, then it must connect two sets. That means R relation from A to B. And if I say a relation on a set A, on a set A means elements of A should be related to elements of A. That means R is a subset of A cross A. A relation on A means it is a subset of A cross A. That means A to A. Clear? See, very important point I am going to tell you. Universal relation. It is the largest relation. Universal relation. That means any subset of A cross A is a relation. Clear? Since A cross A is a subset of A cross A, so A cross A is a relation, and this relation is called universal relation. Clear? And now, second point, void relation. Since phi is a subset of any set, we know phi is a subset of any set. So phi is also a subset of A cross A. So this phi is a relation, and this relation is called void relation. And it is the smallest relation on the set A. And universal relation is the largest relation on the set A. Clear? Now, identity relation. See here. Identity relation means every element should be related to itself only. Itself only. You should keep it in your mind. A is related to A only. A cannot be related to any other elements. It should be related to itself only. That means, I will give you an example. If A is equal to 1, 2, 3, then the identity relation I is equal to 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. This much. The identity relation of the set A is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Every element should be related to itself only, not to any other elements. Clear? Now see here, reflexive relation. Reflexive relation is every element should be related to itself. I am not telling you only. That means every element should be related to itself and it may be related to other elements also. I am giving an example. That means here, if R is reflexive and if A belongs to R, for all A belongs to capital A, then R is called reflexive. A belongs to R, for all A belongs to A, and A may be related to other elements. I am given an example, see here. R is equal to 1, 2, 3. Here, A is equal to this one, sorry. A is equal to 1, 2, 3. And if R is equal to relation 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and R2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, and R3 is equal to 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, like this. I have told you, A belongs to for all A, not for some A, for all A. Here, R3 see here, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 is not present here. So this is not reflexive. Here 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 are present. So this is also reflexive, this is also reflexive. I have told you, in identity relation, only condition is that every element should be related to itself only. It cannot be related to other elements. But in reflexive, it can be related with other elements also. See here, I have taken these two. That means, now tell me what is the relations between identity relation and reflexive relation. Every identity is, this one is identity, na? So every identity is reflexive. But the converse is not true. That means every reflexive is not identity. Clear? So this is the reflexive relation. Irreflexive relation. Irreflexive, that means it is not reflexive. Irreflexive means it is not reflexive. That means A does not belong to R, for all A belongs to R. If A belongs to R, they will become reflexive. Here A does not belong to R for all A. That means 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 will not present in that set. Except 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 other elements are present. So that set is called, that relation is called irreflexive. Clear? Now see here, what is symmetric relation? Symmetric relation, that means if A is related to B, then B must be related to A. If A is related to B, then B must be related to A. And I am giving some human relationship. If A is the friend of B, then B is also the friend of A. Clear? Only the relation friend of is the human relationship which is your symmetric relation. If A is the friend of B, then B is the friend of A. In all human beings. And in case of restrictions, if we take male human beings, all male human beings, if A is the brother of B, then B is also the brother of A. If restriction it will change, that means it will take all the female human beings. Then if A is the sister of B, then B is also the sister of A. But in all human beings, male and female combined, only friend of. Clear? If you take male human beings, brother of is symmetric. In case of female human beings, sister of. Clear? Now, I will give you an example. If A is equal to 1, 2, 3, R1 is equal to 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, and R2 is equal to 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, one, and R3 is equal to 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 2 3, 3 2, this one. See here, I am not taking this one, so to this one I am taking. I have told you, if A is related to B, then B must be related to A. If A is related to B, then B must be related to A if the relation is reflexive. Clear? If the relation is symmetric. See here. 1 1. If it will interchange, it will become 1 1 again. So 1 2, then 2 1 is also there. 2 1, then 1 2 is also there. So it is symmetric. Here 1 1. It will exchange, same thing. It will interchange, same thing. It will interchange, same thing. So it is also symmetric. Here, if it will interchange, same thing will be open. If it will interchange, same thing will be open. If it will interchange, but 2 3, if it will interchange, it will become 3 2. 3 2 is not present here. 2 3 is present, but 3 2 is not present here. So R3 is not symmetric. This is not symmetric. Now question is that this one is identity perhaps. That means every identity is symmetric. Every identity is reflexive. Every identity is symmetric also. Clear? Now I am going to tell you asymmetric, not antisymmetric, asymmetric. Asymmetric means if AB belongs to R, then BA does not belong to R. If AB is an element of R, so BA is not an element of R. Then only R is called asymmetric relation. Clear? Similar to reflexive and irreflexive, so it is similar to symmetric and asymmetric. If the symmetric condition fails, then it is asymmetric. If the reflexive condition fails, it is irreflexive. Clear? See here, antisymmetric relation. Antisymmetric relation is if A is related to B and B is related to A, then A must be equal to B. If A is related to B and B is related to A, then A must be is equal to B. See here, if AB belongs to R and BA belongs to R, then A must be equal to B. So that type of relation is called antisymmetric relation. Example I am giving you. Subset on the set of all sets. Subset on the set of all sets. That means if A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A, then A is equal to B. Clear? Less or equal to in the set of real numbers. If A is less or equal to B and B is less or equal to A, then A is equal to B. Greater or equal to in the set of real numbers. It will also satisfy. A is greater equal to B and B is greater equal to A, then A is equal to B according to real analysis. Clear? So these are the examples of antisymmetric relations. And now I am going to tell you about transitive relation. And what is the meaning of transitive relation? So see here, transitive relation. If A is related to B and B is related to C, then A must be related to C. If this condition is satisfied, then the relation is said to be transitive. Here, if A is related to B and B is related to C, then A must be related to C. Another important thing I am going to tell you. Many people are saying the wrong concept on transitive relation. See here, if A is equal to 1, 2, 3, and if I give you the relation R is equal to 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. This is R1, this is R2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1. Like this. I am telling you, if this type of pattern is present, then A must be related to C. See here, if A is related to B and B is related to C, then A must be related to C. If this pattern is not there, so why you are expecting the conclusion? If there is no hypothesis, then how will you get the conclusion? So first of all, hypothesis should be present. See here, a student is said to pass the exam if he has secured 30%. He should have first appeared the exam, and if you get more than 30%, at least 30%, then he is said to pass the exam. And if fails means, if a student has not appeared the exam, that means he has not failed. Failed means he will appear the exam and he will secure less than 30 marks. Then only you can say that the student has failed. Clear? Hypothesis should be there. He should sit in the exam. He should appear at the exam. After that, you will see the mark. If it is less than 30, that means the student has failed. See here, if this pattern is present, then you should expect the conclusion. Here, 2, 3, 3, 1. 2, 3, 3, 1. A, B, same B is there. B, C, then A, C. 2, 3, 3, 1, but 2, 1 is not here. 2, 1 is not in the set. So this is not reflexive, transitive. Now in this case, there is no pattern here. There is no pattern here. That means there is no hypothesis. So why you are expecting the conclusion? That means it is transitive. If anybody will say, no sir, this is not transitive, then tell me how it fails. I am giving an example here. 2, 3, 3, 1 is there, but 2, 1 is not there. Now tell me. So there is nothing to say. So if there you cannot give an example for which the condition fails, that means the set is transitive. Here I am giving an example. Here, some are saying that, so 1, 1, 1, 1, so 1, 1. But it is a set, there is no repetition. Is that clear to you? In a set, the repetition of elements is not allowed. So, how we are taking 2, 1, 1? Tell me. So, it is a contradiction, completely a contradiction case. Clear? So, my question is that, if you can give an example for which the condition fails, then only you can say that it is not transitive. Here you cannot give an example for which the condition fails. That means it is transitive. Clear? See here, if I say that if a set contains 5 elements, so how many reflexive relations are there? So this is your formula. If a set contains n elements, then the number of reflexive relations, the number of relations, S relations, is equal to the n into n minus 1. Example I am giving, if a set contains 5 elements, A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many reflexive relations are there or can be formed on the set A? It is 2 to the power 5 into 5 minus 1. So 5 minus 4, so 5 4 is 20, so 2 to the power 20 reflexive relations you can form. Clear? So you should remember these tricks so that you can apply it directly. Clear? So these are the theorems actually, and you can prove it by the help of permutation and combinations. Okay? The second trick is that if a set contains n elements, how many symmetric relations can be formed on the set A? The number of elements is n and the number of symmetric relations is 2 to the n into n plus 1 by 2. If a set contains 5 elements, that means cardinality of A is equal to 5. Then how many symmetric relations will be formed? 2 into 5 into 5 plus 1, it is 6. Clear? Divided by 2. So 2, 6 cancel out. So it will be 3, 5 to the 15. 2 to the 15. So 2 to the 15 symmetric relations can be formed on this set containing 5 elements. Clear? See the third trick. If a set contains n elements, how many antisymmetric relations you can form? 2 to the power n into 3 to the power n into n minus 1 by 2. By 2 is in the power. Here, that means if cardinality of A is equal to 3, then the number of antisymmetric relations is equal to 2 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 3 into 3 minus 1, it is 2 divided by 2. So these two cancel out. So 2 to the 3 is 8 and 3 to the into 3 to the 3 is 27 into 5. Clear? So this is the number of antisymmetric relations on a set containing 3 elements. Clear? See, the next trick is that how many relations you can form, asymmetric relation you can form if a set contains n elements. Your 3 to the n into n minus 1 by 2. If this set contains 2 elements, then the number of asymmetric relation is 3 to the power 2 into 2 minus 1, it is 1 divided by 2. 2 cancel, it is equal to 3. Then only 3 asymmetric relations you can form on a set containing 2 elements. Clear? Now, here is the number of irreflexive relations on a set containing n elements. You have 2 to the n into n minus 1. If the cardinality of A is equal to 5, then what is the number of irreflexive relations? It is equal to 2 to the power 5 into 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. So 2 to the power 20. 2 to the power 20 irreflexive relations can be formed on a set containing 5 elements. Clear? So here, combined relation. You want to find out the number of reflexive and symmetric relations. That means you have to find out the relations which are both reflexive and symmetric on a set containing n elements, and it is equal to the n into n minus 1 by 2. So, if the cardinality of A is equal to 4, then the number of relations which are both reflexive and symmetric is equal to 2 to the power 4 into 4 minus 1 divided by 2. 2, 4 cancel out. You become 2 to the 2 into 3 is equal to 2 to the power 6. Clear? See this property. The number of relations on a set with n elements which are neither reflexive nor irreflexive. Neither reflexive nor irreflexive is equal to 2 to the n square minus 2 into 2 to the n into n minus 1. If cardinality of A is equal to 5, then you want to find out the number of relations which are neither reflexive nor irreflexive. 2 to the 5 square is 2 to the 25 minus, will be a very large number, say 2. 2 square is 4 minus 2 into 2 to the 2 into 2 minus 1, it is 1. So 2 to the 4 minus 2 into 2 to the 2. That means it is 2 to the 3. So 2 to the 4 is 16 minus 8, it is equal to 8. That means there are 8 relations which are neither reflexive nor irreflexive on a set containing 2 elements. Here, see here, I will give you these points in your description. So please download it from the description and remember it. And in my next video, I will tell you so how many one-on functions, how many onto functions, how many bijective functions you can form. Clear?